Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I have a little review and free looks. Unless you have like YouTube Premium or something, I guess you're not paying for this. I have a review in 3 looks using the Planchette palette from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics. This was on my list of brands to try in 2021, so I bought it. It looks like this. It looks like a little planchette. Here's the outer packaging. I think that it is so cute. This is what the inside looks like. This retails for $30 US, so I think that that is a really good deal for what you get. You have, let's see, 4 shimmers, 8 mattes, 3 pressed glitters, and a highlight. The pressed glitters are this one, and this one. The only 2 shades that I haven't used are the purple pressed glitter and the little star pressed glitter up here, just because I am not a huge pressed glitter person. In the first look, you'll see me use a silver just so you can like get a look, so you can kind of see how it performs, but I don't like how the texture of pressed glitters generally feel on me, even after I took off that look. When I was like doing this eye look, my eye felt kind of raw, just because that's how it kind of always feels when you take off a pressed glitter, so I just simply didn't do that. And then they have a lovely little highlight shade down here, which I did put on my cheeks today. It definitely is like a hair too deep for me. It does make a really good inner corner highlight though. I think that that is really nice. And I think like if I get a little bit more tan during the summer, then that shade would probably work really well for me. And it's beautiful. I love the texture of that highlight. It's like nice and smooth with like a hint of shimmer in there, which is about what I really like in terms of highlight. I really like this formula. Now I've heard that Spoiled Lips has like a couple of different formulas, but that the ones that have like the little imprint of the lips on them are a lot better. Yeah, that's kind of why I chose this one, because this one has like lips in almost all of them, sans the pressed glitters. And I find that those, all of them do perform really well. I forgot to mention in the third look that I did end up using this shade as a brow bone highlight, because you didn't see it happen, but I did it as soon as I got off camera and realized, oh fuck, I should probably do that. But I find that all of the shades perform really nicely, all of the ones that I've tried. I might, like, I could kind of see myself using this star pressed glitter like maybe on my cheekbones or something if I'm like, I don't know, feeling a little extra one day. But overall, all of them perform really well. I am very impressed with the mattes. They are very smooth and creamy and easy to blend. The only one that I had a little bit of trouble with was the purple, which is what I have kind of on the outer V of my eyes today. But I find that like if you kind of pack it on and blend it out and then pack it on and blend it out and do it that way, it becomes a little less patchy. Purples are kind of known for being the most difficult to formulate. So like I kind of give it a pass, because I find that like, you know, it's workable. It's a little fiddly, but it's workable in terms of that. I think the green is probably my favorite matte out of this palette. It is so easy to work with. It's what I use in the first look actually with this palette. You will see how just like absolutely gorgeous and blendable it is. As far as the shimmers, I love all of the shimmers on this top row. The first 2 are my favorite. The green, which is what I have on the inner corner, and then this very beautiful duochrome that's sort of burgundy to lime green duochrome. I use that in the second look for this, and I've also used that in my little haul tutorial that I did with this palette and the Drench Cosmetics Jupiter Jungle palette. Yeah, that one's probably my favorite shade in the whole palette. That's it's so freaking beautiful. The pressed glitters, I think that, you know, the silver one did look really nice. Like I said, I don't like pressed glitters because they make my eye kind of itchy afterwards, so I used it, but only for the sake of this video. Probably if I'm gonna go use this palette on my own, I'm not likely to reach for the pressed glitters in it. Actually, when I bought it, I didn't realize that these 2 would be pressed glitters, because they look so finely milled that I feel like they could easily pass for shimmer shades, but sadly they are pressed glitters. So I kind of wish I had looked a little bit more into it when I was purchasing it, when I was thinking about buying it. But overall, I do think that this is a really good palette. They have one that's also shaped like a coffin that is a lot of like rosy smoky shades, which I'm also very interested in. And if that's the same quality as this, it's very good. So overall, I think that this is a great palette. 10 out of 10 would purchase again. I just wish that there weren't so many pressed glitters in it, but I think overall the shimmers really do it for me, especially that duochrome. The rest of it makes up for the pressed glitters. All of the shades that I did use perform really well. I love how the looks I did turn out. So speaking of those looks, So speaking of those looks, God damn it. So speaking of those looks, let's get into the tutorials. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes with my NYX HD eyeshadow primer. I'm actually going to use this mirror from Melt to like look at my eye makeup because like the mirror in this is fine, but the size of it like is really not conducive to me like being able to look at it and you being able to see what I'm doing. And if you've never seen one of my 3 looks from palettes before, I do one look on each eye, I wipe it off and come back for one final look, because I think that that is pretty darn efficient if I do say so myself. I'm thinking for the first look, I am going to do kind of a Slytherin-y type look because there's this beautiful, beautiful dark green. So I'm going to begin by taking that and I'm going to use an e.l.f. and Kiss J3 brush, which is probably one of my favorite transition brushes. I would love to do at some point like favorite brush video. All of my favorite brushes are now discontinued basically. Oh, that is really, really beautiful and pigmented. Okay. So I'm basically going to just put this all up in my crease. This one's going to be pretty simple in my opinion. Yeah, just placing that all up in my crease, kind of blending it upward a bit, and then also putting a bit towards the outer corner. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more towards the front just so I can make sure that it is all nice and blended how I want it to be. So I want to do a half cut crease type situation with that silver shade. I'm sorry, sometimes I forget how colors work. But that's a pressed glitter, so I'm going to begin with my e.l.f. glitter glue. Place a little bit of that on the back of my hand. And I'm just using this little pencil brush here that I have, cutting my crease basically. I kind of know how my eye is shaped, so I just do it like slightly above my crease. I'm just kind of blending it out. I try and take it pretty far over while also making sure that I leave some room to blend it with like the actual shadow on the outer corner. Okay, so I'm first going to see how the shade applies with the brush. I might end up needing to use my finger, we're going to see. But basically I'm just gonna take this silver pressed glitter. I'm gonna put that everywhere that I put the glitter glue down. Now, I'm not normally a pressed glitter type person, but these seem pretty like small as opposed to the majorly chunky ones. Yeah, that's barely showing up if I use that. So let me just go in with my finger. There we go, she's pigmented there. That's good. Okay, but I'm trying to put that basically everywhere that I put the base down. And I'm going to go back in with the brush just so I can kind of get a little bit more of a precise crease, since that to me is the goal of a cut crease. Okay, so I kind of have the shape that I want to with my eyes. To deepen it up and kind of blend it out, I'm going to take this sort of like deep purple navy blue type shade. I'm going to see how that works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to use a matte black. And I'm using this brush from the e.l.f. Mint Melt collection. I'm just very lightly kind of taking that and kind of blending it into the outer corner and kind of making a little bit of overlap with where I put down the glitter. Okay, and that looks really, really pretty, I think. This is pretty simple. I want to add just like a hair bit more of that glitter right there. And I don't know why, but I keep accidentally getting purple on my face. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the lid. Now, I just kind of, for this eye, want to match the lower lash line with the crease, so I'm going to go back in with more of that green. And I'm using the e.l.f. and Kiss J2 brush, which is basically like the first brush that I used, but a little bit more flat, so you can get it a bit more precise around the eye. And I think that that provides a really nice shape, kind of winged out, that you could do some wing liner with this if you wanted to, but I think it also works really well on its own. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm just going to use this like bright white shade that I think has a little bit of shimmer to it. Okay, so that is look number 1 done. Okay, so it is time for look number 2. I am going to use this bright orange here. There we go. I'm gonna use that bright orange right there. That's gonna be my sort of transition shade. I'm thinking of doing sort of a halo look for this one, but with a very bright edge there. And I'm kind of blending it into the inner and outer corner as well, so that way when I layer other shades on top of it, that kind of still really shows up and you can get this like beautiful bright orange sort of glow. I am then going to deepen it up beginning at the inner and outer corner using this sort of burgundy shade right there. And I'm using that on a more precise brush. So just kind of tapping it in on either side. And then just blending that into the crease. So you can see that I'm taking this a little bit closer to the crease as opposed to blowing it out like I did with the orange. However, I'm going to take a little bit more of that towards the edge. That way I can still make sure that it's all nice and fiery. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit of glitter glue, just like whatever was left over from the first look, just tapping that towards the center. This one I'm not going to do quite as precisely, you know. Then I really want to use this duochrome shade. I know I use that in my kind of haul tutorial video, but I really do like it. I think it's quite beautiful. But I'm just going to place that in the center of the halo. And then I'm taking that brush that I used for both of the burgundy shades and, well, both of the sides with the burgundy, and just kind of taking that once again on either side. There we go. And then for the lower lash line, I'm actually going to take that same brush and just place it on the inner and outer corner. Basically the same placement that I did on my lid. And then in the center of that, I'm going to use this sort of shimmery burgundy from the top there and just sort of smudge that towards the middle there. Okay, and then finally for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to use this shade, which is actually the highlighter from that palette, which is really pretty. It's this nice sort of peachy shade, and it's a really good texture for a highlight, like just the sort of texture that I really like. It's a little bit deep for me at the moment, but I can probably wear it during summer, maybe. Okay, and that is look number 2 finished. Okay, so I'm back for the third look. I've already once again primed my eyes. My eyebrows are a little messed up from me trying to get the other 2 looks out of there. You would think with the number of 3 looks on palettes I've done that I would be able to do that a bit easier. However, I am not. So this look, I want to use some of the more purpley type shades. So I'm gonna begin with this sort of taupe here, and I'm taking that, I cleaned off the e.l.f. J. Kiss J3 brush, and I am going to use that as my transition shade here. There's still definitely a little bit of glitter stuck to this eye from the pressed glitter. Glitter, the herpes of the makeup world. This is very subtle on my skin tone, but I do think that this is going to help the purples that I want to use transition very nicely. Yeah, I'm just holding the brush as kind of like far to the like tip as I can, because that also kind of helps it blend better, helps it go on a bit lighter. Yeah, so I'm just basically almost blending that up to my brow bone. I still have a little bit of like red along here where I couldn't get it as much in my lash line. So bright. It's so good. So bright. So next I am going to take this very bright purple shade here, and I'm using the e.l.f. J. Kiss J4 brush, and I'm going to begin putting that into the outer V of my eyes and blending it upwards into that lavender taupe shade. And I know that that kind of looks a bit harsh, but I am going to do a little bit more blending, a little bit more work, so it's not going to look too bad. I'm just going to take that first brush and sort of blend out the edges a little bit. I'm just trying to keep this purple like nice and vibrant. For some reason that's not catching in as much as I would like it to, but that's okay. Okay, so now because I have an idea that I don't know if it'll work, I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in Halo, and I'm taking it on this brush here from the Melt and Beetlejuice collection, because the applicator of the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas is but I'm kind of going to very gently apply that and cut my crease, but I'm not trying to do it like super harshly. So I don't need a super harsh unblendable line or anything. I just want to have a base that is a little bit brighter, a little bit whiter for what I'm about to do. Okay, so I kind of want to play with that like kind of pearly white shade, but also that lime green shade. So I'm going to begin with the white, and I'm taking that on the flat end of this brush, and I'm going to put that in the center of where I laid down the cut crease canvas. And that just has a little bit of a shimmery pearlescent finish, and with the way it kind of looks, it almost looks a little bit lavendery. So I think that that is super cute. And then I'm going to take this little, I don't even know, it's like a small blending brush, but I feel like it's gonna achieve what I want it to. And I'm going to take that bright lime green shimmer there, and that is kind of going to act as my inner corner highlight in a way. Just, yeah, laying it down there like that. And I'm kind of trying to blend it back on top of the white shade that I used. Then I'm going to go back in with that purple shade that I originally used and kind of tap that back into the outer corner, just because I want that to be super vibrant. And then just to deepen that up even further, I'm gonna take that black shade there, and I'm not gonna do a whole lot with it. I'm just taking it on a blending brush, kind of tapping it off, and literally just tapping it on the very outer corner. So then, to keep that same energy, I'm just going to take the dark purple along my lower lash line, and I'm stopping it about right here so that way I can use that green, and yeah, top that with some green. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some mascara, possibly some liner, and the rest of my face too, obviously. But that'll be, yeah, that's all the eyeshadow I need to do for this look, yeah. Okay, so look number 3 is finished. I actually used the Utterly Alone pigment paint from the Melt and Beetlejuice collection as my liner, because I think that goes really well with the purple, and honestly the purple and green, like, I'm feeling pretty Beetlejuicy with this look. The lipstick that I am wearing is the Milani Amore Satin Matte Lip cream in the shade Sorceress, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty cute. So this is look number 3. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this palette, I would recommend buying it. It's super great. Have you tried anything from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics before? What would you recommend? Leave your thoughts down below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And yeah, I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!